Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Chris Kraus, your Learning and Development Specialist at Embraer, and welcome to our remote learning webinar. Today's session is from our American Cancer Society. We're going to be talking about attacking cancer from every angle. I'm going to introduce our guest speakers in just a second, but as always, I've got a little light housekeeping for you. So first one, I really don't have to say because you've already done it, so thank you, muting your mics and disabling your video. Just note that the session is being recorded, and for those of you that are not able to attend, or if you have friends that were not able to attend that wanted to see it, they are welcome to go on to My Embraer later on into the degreed section and see the video. There will be some Q&A at the end of the session, so if you have any questions, make note of them, and we'll have some time at the very end to answer those. And as always, we have a post-session survey. So for this one, I'm just going to send out an email afterwards with the link. I ask that you all just take 2 seconds, click the link, let us know what you thought, let us know what topics you'd like to see in the future, and we always like to hear from everyone. With that, I would like to introduce our guest speakers today. We're really excited to have Leslie Castillo and Michelle Osterly from the American Cancer Society with us today. Welcome, Michelle and Leslie. And I think you guys are on mute.
Leslie, you there?
I am here. Can you guys hear me? Because the quality is just coming in and out. Are you guys able to hear me okay?
I can hear you okay.
Okay. So we're gonna cross our fingers and hope that technology bears with us over the next 20 minutes. But good morning, and thank you, Chris and Embraer and Liani Brito, our local sponsor there, for having us here today. So my name is Leslie Castillo, and I am a senior manager with the American Cancer Society. I live here in the Daytona Beach area, so as you'll hear, we're a nationwide organization, but very community-based. I have been with the American Cancer Society for 8 years now. However, prior to that, I was a volunteer for the organization for many years, which kind of drove my love for the cause and allowed me to switch over. So just here to you about this amazing organization, how we are working with the cancer community, and how we are attacking cancer from every angle. The American Cancer Society is a nationwide community-based voluntary health organization dedicated to eliminating cancer as a major health problem. Our global headquarters is in Atlanta, Georgia, and we have regional and local presence throughout the country to ensure we have a presence in our community. So this pandemic has led us to go remote. So where we used to have footprints in local brick and mortar offices, we are now a 100% remote workforce. It has been very enlightening for us to learn how to do this work. Being a community-based, we're so used to being outward-facing. We are a very touchy-feely organization, very grassroots. So virtual and digital was something that we have learned quickly and we have embraced. Do we still miss our volunteers and being out there with all of you? Yes, we do. However, the safety of all of our constituents, our community, and our nation is far more important right now than our personal preference. So the last 7 months have been so trying on our nation, our communities, our economy. As you can imagine, nonprofit sectors have been impacted tremendously. We have seen such a decline in donations. We are currently facing over 50% decline in donations here at the American Cancer Society. That decline is not going to stop us. We know cancer doesn't stop for a pandemic. This pandemic didn't come with a guidebook. So we have pivoted, and we use that word quite a bit in our industry, everyday life. So we have pivoted to really work smart and better with the resources and the availability that we have. So hopefully over the next couple of minutes, we can give you a glimpse as to how we're doing all of that. Next slide, please. And Michelle, I'm not sure if it has changed on your end. I don't see it on my end yet. If somebody can tell me.
On my end, there we go. I was like, it's not changing on my end either. There we go.
There we go. There we go. There it is. So yes, so we are the most trusted source of accurate information. We have been in this fight for over 100 years, and we are 3.5 million strong. When I say 3.5 million strong, one of the things that is we are a voluntary-led organization. So over 3.5 million volunteers support us and with their passion and their selfless dedication, the work that we do in order to help us accomplish our mission. It is truly a volunteer-led. So when you look at people like Michelle and myself, for every one of us that are paid staff of the American Cancer Society, there are over 500 volunteers that work with us closely to help us accomplish what we need to do. And that could be everything from a year-round volunteer to an episodic volunteer that helps us just with a quick project. But people everywhere know that the American Cancer Society is a trusted source for accurate cancer information. Recently in the news, we've had some great big losses. Actor Chadwick Boseman died. Views of colon cancer pages on our cancer.org increased by 8,000%. A huge number, a lot of views. People were, navigated and flocking to cancer.org. They wanted to know everything that they needed to know about colon cancer and how not to become part of the statistics. We look at a lot of what we fund in research is based on preventable. It's based on early detection. So when they heard about him, they came to a trusted resource and said, what do I need to know? When Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, views of our pancreatic cancer pages jumped by 33%. I often hear a percentage and say, well, how does that relate in numbers? So we're not just talking about a few more people logging on to view. That was over 52,000 page views in the days after the death of RBG. We are helping people in the community just with vital information, providing it to you. It is at your fingertips. Cancer.org is a resourceful page. I encourage you all to visit it. It's not just for cancer patients. There is information on there, again, that could help you understand how to prevent cancer diagnosis. 50% of our diagnoses are now preventable. So really, educate yourself, learn about early detection, learn about lives, and trust in the information that we have to help you with that. Next slide, please. So this slide here always kind of impacts me, and the statistics reinforce that even though progress has been made, we're nowhere near being done. I look at that slide, and when I see 1 in 3 people in the US will be diagnosed with cancer in their lifetime, I often stop at that number. I am one of 3 sisters. So I look at my sisters, we consider ourselves 3 peas in a pod. We have nicknames that flow in forms of 3. And when I think that there's a possibility that one of us can possibly be diagnosed, it takes my breath away. It literally makes me stop and think, what else can I do to help prevent this? So I look to my work, I look to the work of all of our volunteers, I look to the dedication, everybody that supports us, and I know that we're on the right track. Because of the support of our donors, the American Cancer Society can help people facing cancer in every community by funding groundbreaking cancer research, support in education and prevention efforts, and providing free information and critical services for people with cancer who need them. Again, cancer.org is really a resourceful place for this. Because this information is available. It is at your fingertips. It is there for you when you need it at your convenience. So please allow us to help you. As an organization, we have invested more than $4.9 billion in cancer research since 1946, all to find more and better treatments, uncover factors that may cause cancer, and improve patients' quality of life. It's really important that, we're treating this, we're making this livable. And again, that word improving patients' quality of life is very important to us. So that investment into research, it's only possible because of donors and partnerships, and even partnerships like this one with Embraer. We know that we have teams and we have grants that we solicit. So thank you, because every dollar that comes into us gets us one step closer to what we're trying to do. COVID-19 has reduced our ability to fund cancer research by 50%. You guys heard me say that in the beginning. It's our lowest investment of the century, but we are still committed to continuing our mission and raising funds for research. We have not stopped. We have worked harder over the last 7 months than we can even remember. Just don't tell our bosses that. We are truly moving forward. Ongoing support for cancer patients and caregivers is at risk. 79% of our cancer patients in active treatment have reported delays in cancer due to the pandemic. That's scary. It's a very scary number, because what that means is they're taking a step back, and we don't have time in this journey for anybody to stop, to take a step back. Treatment is critical. All of their treatment, their visits to their doctors, their screenings, that is all critical and important, again, to saving lives, to helping them along their journey into that early detection. So we are really working closely with this community during this time, doing a lot of education, trying to find a lot of workarounds to make sure that these cancer patients are getting to where they can get their treatments and feel safe doing so. Next slide. So I see that it's changing. Okay, the color of your skin, the race, your zip code, nothing should ever stand in the way of your cure. We are truly attacking cancer from every angle, which is why, in addition to what you see on the screen, we are also leaders in addressing health disparities. Cancer can affect anyone. I say that it could affect anyone. It does not discriminate, but it does not affect everyone equally, and we're committed to addressing the unequal burden by reaching people in underserved communities. The American Cancer Society is currently funding 59 grants reflecting $50 million in health disparities research as of March 2020. Our Change grants support programs that promote health equity and increase access in underserved areas. We advocate for increased diversity in clinical trials and health equity collaborations and coalitions. Again, cancer doesn't discriminate, and neither do we. So we are working and attacking this from every angle. Next slide, please. We're getting there. All right, so this is a fun slide for me. I don't know if anybody else would find it fun, but it makes me reflect a lot on why I am here. So 8 years ago, I transitioned from a 17-year career with a Fortune 500 company where I was very happy. They treated me well. I was grateful to them for 17 years. They helped see me through my father's cancer diagnosis. They were very good with me with time off. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, an opportunity to come and work for ACS presented itself. And I thought, I've been volunteering for this organization for quite a bit. But if I'm going to make this transition and leave behind 17 years, I really need to learn more. So as I began looking into, some of the results and the breakthroughs and the accomplishments of the American Cancer Society, I thought, wow, they really have it together and they really do know what they're doing. So I think, it goes without saying that our results are impressive. What's yet to come is even more exciting. I am truly proud of this organization and what we continue to accomplish. I'm not sure how many of you, and if I'm aging myself, I apologize. I shouldn't apologize because that's probably a good thing. But I don't know if many of you remember going into a restaurant and being asked the question, would you like the smoking or non-smoking section? It was the American Cancer Society, along with the Cancer Action Network, that lobbied to help pass and ban smoking in public places. That to me was just the most fantastic thing, because I could remember saying the non-smoking section, but being seated next to the smoking table, because there was really no 6 feet apart. There was no, plexiglass wall that divided these sections. It was just a matter of preference. So when I think back to no smoking and that clean air that we have because of efforts and lobbying through the Cancer Action Network, it really gives me a lot of pride. Then I look at our 49 Nobel Prize winners, and I think that's a really, really great number. Some of our competitors, they're in the single digits when it comes to Nobel Prize winners. But I think that number, what it truly highlights is that the research that we are funding is truly worthy, and it is really impacting our mission. It's helping continue to save lives. Like, we are investing dollars in researchers that have something that is going to make a difference in a cancer patient's life. So, again, there's so much on there, and I could go on and talk to you about every single bullet, but I'll leave you with one more highlight from that. 3 years ago, I went in for a routine PAC test, and I left there with, oh, you have precancerous cells. And to me, I was in shock. I worked for the American Cancer Society. I knew what the PAC test was about. I knew what it could detect. And I truly went into a panic mode. Where did I go? I went to cancer.org. I went in to understand everything of what did this mean. I had all of my questions prepared for my doctor as they began some procedures and some biopsies. And thankfully, because of that early detection, here we are 3 years later, and I could say that there are no in precancerous cells. They've been able to remove all of them, and I continue to go in now on a regular basis, more than your average once a year, to make sure that there is no signs of these cells. So again, that early detection, that prevention, I am here 3 years later. I can look to a bright future with my daughter, with my husband, with my family because of this. We've seen a 27% decline in cancer death rates since 1991. That's over 2.9 million lives saved. Pretty impressive. Again, we throw out all of these numbers. They're really impressive numbers, but I think that the number that you're about to hear is hopefully going to really make you stop and think. We're not stopping at 27%. We're not looking. We're really focusing on our North Star, and we have set a very hefty goal of achieving a 40% decline in cancer death rates by. So research plays an important part of that hefty goal. We need to continue to fund the right research so that we can continue to save lives and achieve that goal of 40% by 2035. Next slide, please. You were there. There we go. At the American Cancer Society, we're on a mission to free the world from cancer. And until we do, again, we're going to continue funding and conducting research. We're going to share expert information. We're going to support our patients. We're going to spread the word about prevention, and all so that you live longer and so that you can live better. Our goal, a world without cancer. Our goal is that. We truly want to see a world without cancer. We want to save lives. We want to do it faster, and we want to have a world without cancer. We want to eliminate and eradicate cancer. Next slide, please. So navigating the pandemic and reckoning with racial injustice is deeply impacting people from all walks of life. There are threats to health, financial losses, emotional distress. All of this are taking an especially hard toll on cancer patients, their families, and their caregivers. The American Cancer Society has remained open 24/7. We did not stop. We did not close down. We are providing a lifeline to residents in this community and communities across the country via phone, live chat, and video, answering all the questions about cancer, and especially questions about cancer and COVID-19. So again, those patients that are afraid to go and get treatment, we're there to help them. We're help them to navigate that fear. We're there to help them get beyond that uncertainty of should I go or shouldn't I go. You heard me mention cancer.org. I hope you jotted down that information. I hope you utilize that. I hope you become one of those viewers that can go on there and retrieve some valuable information that can help you. But I also want you to jot down our phone number, because this is where, if you need to speak to somebody live, again, we're there 24/7 for you. And our hotline is 1-800-227-2345. And that's again, 1-800-227-2345. This is available to you 24/7. We have some of the most amazing staff standing by at all hours. One day I asked one of our operators, I said, so what's the busiest time of the day for you guys? Like, when do you get the most calls? And, here I am thinking that it's like, when we're calling a customer service line. The busiest time for the calls to our hotline are between the hours of 2 and 4 a.m. So when you think of a cancer patient or a family member, a caregiver, that is trying to dissect all of the information that they've just recently heard, they don't know what to do. They have a lot of questions. Should I wait till morning? Should I call my doctor? Should I wake up, my mother, my father, my spouse, my child, to let them know that I'm scared? A lot of them don't know what to do. And luckily, somebody somewhere gave them this phone number, whether it was their navigator at the hospital, or it was an ad on TV, or it was a volunteer that knew that diagnosed and said, call this number and they're there to help you. So we do get the most of our calls between those hours, and it's where we can help them answer questions, hopefully provide a little bit of comfort and let them know that we're there to stand beside them every step of the way. Because of COVID-19, again, we've had to conduct how we do our business, as did many other organizations and industries. We identified at the onset of COVID, what do we need to do? We have to save on our expenses. We have to, shift more of our money to our mission. How are we going to do this? We did identify on how we could save on non-personnel expenses. We were forced to cancel all of our in-person events over the last 7 months. And while those are big revenue generators, they're also big expenses. So we were able to save on those expenses and look for creative ways to at least continue to get that funding in. Unfortunately, we did have to say goodbye to more than 25%. And as a lean organization, losing 25% of your workforce is it's a big impact. But again, relying more on the talent of our volunteers to help us through this is what has gotten us through the last 7 months. As a volunteer-led organization, again, our volunteers jumped up and said, what can we do? How do we help you? We've done some very creative things in the fundraising world. We have learned more about digital fundraising, digital galas, digital concerts than you can imagine. We've had more views to our social media pages thanks to the creativity of some of our volunteers, helping us continue to raise dollars and to do what we need to do. Again, we're not stopping. Cancer does not stop, so neither are we. As fundraisers, we are helping people in the cancer community. We're honoring and continuing to pay out all of our cancer research awards to date. When many funders and cancer organizations have simply stopped writing checks, we are fulfilling our commitments because we don't want to leave anything on the table, any type of discovery or answers to cancer. What that means is $6.5 million for cancer research leaves the American Cancer Society every single month. So we continue to invest $6.5 million into cancer research. Lives are just that important to us. We have adjusted how we do business so that we can continue to fund what really matters. And luckily, this is the end of my portion of the presentation. And now I'd like to turn it over to Michelle Osterly. Michelle is based out of the Brevard County area, and she has, I think a little bit more exciting information to share with you guys as we start to end this. I always get kind of the grim part of it. Nobody ever said that cancer was pretty, but we're definitely making it as best as we can. So on behalf of myself, I want to thank you guys for allowing me to be with you this morning, and I will turn it over now to Michelle.
Good morning. Yeah, Leslie's right. I do have the happier side of everything for a little bit. I just want to, before I start, I want to reiterate what Leslie said. What the American Cancer Society does truly is impressive. I've been with ACS now for a little over 6 years, and I was just blown away by everything that ACS does for the community, for both cancer patients and people who just want to make sure that they remain healthy and educated. So speaking of educated, since COVID-19, the American Cancer Society has been conducting surveys and studies, capturing the voices and even pleas from cancer patients, including and like those here in this community, documenting the ordeal they're going through to get treatment and care. And we've been broadcasting this unacceptable situation to policymakers and lawmakers. Months of limited screenings and treatments mean less early detection and the risk of more deaths in the future. We are not diagnosing cancers we know are there, and that idea is just simply scary and is the reason why we had to pivot. Access to affordable health care and treatment is essential for cancer patients and their families, but the financial burden for many has been compounded by job losses and income security. And please let me know, I'm hoping that the slides are changing as I'm talking.
They are.
I can't see, I can't tell. Failing to invest in research now means we'll have fewer preventative tools, fewer treatment options, lost progress towards a cure, and ultimately more deaths from cancer in the future. The idea that the thought of a cure just sitting on the shelf because we're unable to fund it is truly eye-opening and heartbreaking. So we've worked quickly with all of our partners and constituents to help keep our work going, whether that was adding video conferencing so that people didn't feel isolated, or advocating for funding for the National Institutes of Health to research and develop COVID-19 diagnostic tools, vaccines, and therapies. We have not let this pandemic stop us. An opportunity that can help us to continue to further our mission is fundraising through Making Strides. As I'm sure you're all aware, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. While the breast cancer death rate has decreased by 40% over the past 2 decades, we still have a lot of work to do. In 2020, more than 276,000 women and more than 2,600 men are expected to be newly diagnosed with breast cancer. Nationwide, about 42,000 women and more than 500 men are expected to die from breast cancer this year. Breast cancer is the most common cancer diagnosed in women except for skin cancers, and the second only to lung cancer as a cause of cancer death in women. One way to combat cancer is through early detection. Here you can see the American Cancer Society's guidelines for women at an average risk for breast cancer. And please note that no matter the age, screening should continue as long as a woman is in good health. A lot of women, once they get older, 70, they stop getting mammograms, and there's no reason. If you're in still good health, please continue to get your mammograms. While it's important to know the statistics and screening recommendations, what matters more is what the American Cancer Society is doing in the fight against breast cancer. This slide provides an overall view of the impact the American Cancer Society has on breast cancer through activism, breakthroughs, communities, and directions. One of the ways we build communities is by raising funds through Making Strides Against Breast Cancer walks. The American Cancer Society's Making Strides Against Breast Cancer, also known as MSABC, unites all communities, companies, and individuals across the country in the fight to end breast cancer. For more than 2 decades, Making Strides has funded breakthrough research, 24/7 support for cancer patients via that 1-800 helpline and cancer.org, and access to life-saving screenings. We've made leaps in progress that have saved 375,000 lives. The Making Strides has always been more than just a walk. It's a movement. Because of the pandemic, how we unite and fight back this fall will look different, but our passion to end breast cancer is still the same. In 2020, we're making it easier for anyone, anywhere to make an impact. We know the future can be free from breast cancer, and we're asking you to join the movement and sign up to save lives. You can go to makingstrideswalk.org to find the event closest to you. It's free to sign up. Or you can join Liani Brito in her Embraer initiative, which I believe Anjuli will now share with you, if I'm not mistaken.
Hi, yes, I will. Thank you for all this information, and it really was great and informative, and I'm sure that cancer has touched all of our lives in some way or another. Let me see if this works now. All right, we're on. And every year, Embraer has or offers the opportunity to our employees to join the Making Strides, right? In the big walk, and we always have a nice group of employees show up to all of the walks in all of our sites. Obviously, due to COVID, this year things are a little bit different, but we still want you to get involved. So the changes that Embraer Foundation made with the VTO hours, for example, is we moved them to acts of kindness. So any act of kindness that you can imagine, you can use your VTO hours, because we want you to connect with your community in any way possible. And obviously helping another person and giving back is not only rewarding for the person receiving it, for yourself to feel that connection. And with the acts of kindness, Chrissy Ray came up with this brilliant idea of a walkathon. And she actually pledged to walk 350 miles over a period of 10 weeks. And she's been walking about 5 miles a day, and her site in Jacksonville has joined her to walk with her, or to walk and separate pledge different amounts of miles, or they also pledged to sponsor her. So you can participate in these 2 ways. Then Liani came along, of course, and she's always the leader with all of this initiative. She always is the first one to reach out, and it is always exciting when we come that time of the year. And she moved it to Melbourne and Titusville. So we have multiple sites participating in this walkathon. So you guys can pledge to walk 1 mile a week or 100 miles, whatever you want, until the end of the month. And you have the option to make the donation at either the Jacksonville or the Melbourne Titusville sites for any amount that you would like, or you can also sponsor Chrissy and Liani on their walks. So I have walked as much as I can, and I really hope that everybody else can and contribute whatever they can. And I will actually now lead it to Liani so she can give you the update of all of the walks that they have done and how many miles they have accomplished so far.
Okay, hello everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Michelle and Leslie and Anjuli. Yeah, we have, in fact, Chrissy was my inspiration to start our walkathon here. Unfortunately, she couldn't join us this morning, but she, just an update on Chrissy's walk, she planned to walk 350 miles, 5 miles a day. She started in September, and she has 123 miles left. I started a little later. I joined the train a little late. I planned to walk 245 miles, and I have 106 left. But most importantly than walking is that we can help save lives. This, as most of you know, this cause is very near and dear to myself. I'm a survivor, 2.5 years and counting. Yay! And Embraer family has supported me since day one. And I am trying to give back to everyone that I can, volunteering and fundraising. So, and I think, and it's nice when we see that people are joining you. I have coworkers that said, Liani, I'm walking 30, 40 minutes a day. And some other coworkers, Liani, can we join you on your walk once a week? So almost every day I walk with someone different, someone from work, someone from my family, my friends. So this is very interesting and this is very fulfilling. And I wanna ask you all to join us, Embraer MLB Titusville or Embraer Jacksonville on making strides against breast cancer. And this is it. Is there any other information that I missed, Anjuli?
No, I think that's it. I mean, if I can share the links in the chat of the group chat so you can access it directly. And if you have any questions, please let me know. If you want to get involved with any other acts of kindness as well, please let me know and I'll be able to help you out. So I will look for the links now, but I think that's it.
Yeah, and just to add, go to the website, MSABC, Making a Start Against Breast Cancer Brevard, and you can join our teams. Even if you are not gonna walk, it's nice to have people in our team. We can show that together we can beat breast cancer. Together we are stronger. There will be an event, a movement. We don't call just walk, we say a movement, because Making Strides is really a movement, on October 24th. So we will have a pink parking lot party at the Avenue in Vieira. And also Saturday, tomorrow, we have another event, Put On Your Pink Bra, and we have information on my page on Facebook. So thank you all, and join us to walk.
Well, I would like to thank Leslie and Michelle, Liani, and Anjuli for sharing all this great information with us. I just saw the link come into the chat, so that's great. I want to open it up though. I'd like to see if anybody has any questions for the group. We're a small group today, so you can just unmute yourself and ask your question.
So I will share something. I know that you guys, with your walk and everything that you're doing, if you go on to the cancer.org page, we have a whole section on eating healthy and staying active. Again, that page is great for so many different things. We often share recipes on there, things that that will help you to just maintain that healthy lifestyle. A lot of nutrition guidelines have been updated recently, so I encourage you to go in and look at those as well.
Very good.
Cancer is such a crazy topic. People often say, "What can I ask?" So ask away. We're here.
Also, if I may add something, I forgot to mention about the early detection. So do women and men that are here, remind your wives, girlfriend, sister, mom, the early detection, that's so important. That's why I'm still here. Thank God, like Leslie too, she could detect that early. My cancer was detected, I who found it during a self-exam. So if this doesn't keep you from having cancer, but it helps you attack cancer earlier. So remember to do your self-exam.
Good information. Good. Christine, I saw that I think you were unmuting yourself. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I had just a question for Leslie, and not to get too personal or anything, but I just wanted to understand more about when you mentioned precancer cells, if they found that like maybe was it a regular blood test, or was it a specific test that you had done, or kind of, I guess, how you found that, what that is exactly. I haven't really heard so much about that.
So it was actually during a routine Pap test, so my annual that I had gone in for, and it came back abnormal. So
Okay.
Once it came back abnormal, they continued to do some more tests. I had about 2 procedures done until they removed half of the cervix. So at that time, they really thought that it was a lot more contained, and we hadn't signed off on a full hysterectomy, so they only removed half of the cervix. But fully, again, that early detection, I'm continuing to get my treatment, and 3 years later, here we are and healthy and doing well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Does anybody else have any questions for the group?
So yeah, just everybody, again, this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Wear your pink. Find your local, I'm not sure where everybody is from here on this call, if we're all from the same area or not, but or if you're just not in the Brevard County area, but you're in a different city, please look for your local movement, join them, share your pink, show your support. You heard Michelle say this is women and men now being impacted by this, so we definitely have a lot of awareness to create.
I think Leonie, is it and then Julie, is it Pink on Wednesdays for Embraer, right?
Yes, we wear pink on Wednesdays.
Yeah, I can. That's a Mean Girls reference, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, exactly. And I was here at I'm at the company today, but I was here on Wednesday and I saw some people wearing pink and I took pictures with them. So
cool.
it's beyond the pink, right? Pink is just the symbol to raise awareness. But if you're working from home and wearing pink, just send us a picture. Send to me, to Anjuli, to Marielle.
Nice.
Yes, we hope to share all these pictures at the end of the month. So take a picture and send it over.
And sign up and let's raise some money for 1 in 8 women will have breast cancer. So I don't want you or your friend or your neighbor, your cousin, your mom to be this number 1 out of 8. So let's help it.
Got it. And we can all
We
click that link. Oh, go ahead, Leslie.
No. I just want to say we love Leonie. She actually motivates us. So when we're in a slump, Leonie gets us out of it.
I second that. Leonie is
Thank you.
awesome.
Leonie's excitement is infectious. We feel it all over in Brer, not just in Melbourne.
Oh,
right?
yes. Everywhere.
Thank you, guys.
It's awesome.
It's a
Hey,
way
everybody.
that I try to give back all the love I got.
You pass it on, right? Hey, guys, thank you all for being here today. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to listen to this. It's really important information. Make sure you click the links that were shared in the chat area. And as always, I'm going to be sending out the survey afterwards. So please just take a minute or two. Let us know what you thought about this session today and give us ideas for topics in the future. And with that, everyone have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you all.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks.